Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new League of Legends video. So one thing I love making in terms of videos are tips and tricks for various champions, and with Ekko being out for a few weeks now, I feel like it is time to make a video for him too. Some of the tips I will be talking about are going to be quite simple, while others will be much more complicated. So the first tip I will be talking about is what I call the stealthy W. This one is to help you land your W much better, especially in the laning phase, since a lot of people do complain about his W being so difficult to land because it's just so easy to see coming. But I think I found a pretty cool way to land your W much easier. So the main goal of this tip is to not let the enemy opponent see the wind up animation of your W where you have the little ghost thing throw the ball. So one way I like to do it is going behind this wall you see right here, or the one on the other side, because here when you cast your W, the opponent has no vision of you, they don't know you're casting it, they probably think you're just going to ward or check something, but then out of nowhere you see the W fly at them and they have very little time to react since they don't see the initial cast animation. But let us switch the view to see how it looks like when it is done to you. The main thing to remember when doing this trick is that the minion waves are somewhere near the middle of the lane, because if they're too far up and they'll see you go behind the wall, then this trick does not work. So here you're gonna see it come out of nowhere and I have very little time to react. And this is why I really like this trick. But this of course can also be done from bushes as long as it is not warded. Just start the W cast animation within the bush, but make sure not to be too aggressive as you come out of the bush. You want to start going aggressive with your E on the opponent as the W starts flying to the location. Because if you cast your W and then E out of the bush right away, the opponent is gonna know something is up since you seem so aggressive out of nowhere. So you want to wait till the W is flying and then go for the aggressive move, just so you don't arouse any suspicion. And once again, let us see how it looks like when the trick is done to you, and you're gonna see once again, you don't have a whole lot of time to react, especially when the opponent doesn't make it too obvious when they come out of the bush. The second thing I want to be talking about is among the hardest things to do with Ekko. This one is pretty much utilizing his full kit to its fullest potential and landing the two hardest abilities to land, being his W and his ultimate, in succession. This one works best whenever you're being chased because you can easily turn around the situation. The whole point is to use your W right behind you where your ghost is going to appear from your ultimate. Use your ultimate to get within the W, proc the W, but also use the Q to slow the opponent to make sure that they stay within the W range. But just in case that was a little too much to understand, let's look at it once again, but in slower motion. So again, this works best when you're being chased, and you're gonna see as I'm about to slow it down, you want to throw your W where your ghost is gonna be, since your ghost has a 4-second delay and your W is 3 seconds. To ensure that they stay within the W range, you see me throw out the Q for the slow. As it comes back and my ghost is within my W range and so is the opponent, I ult back into it, proc the W, deal the ultimate damage, and just go full out for the finish. Definitely try this out, but do remember that you will probably fail this quite a lot because this is probably the hardest thing to do with Ekko. And the next trick I'll talk about is escaping your opponents easier with the auto attack portion of your E ability, while utilizing the W for vision. But before I go into that, there's something else I have to cover first. To make this trick as efficient as possible, you have to do a form of animation cancelling on Ekko, which you just saw me do there using the E ability to cancel the animation of the wind up time for W. It doesn't save a whole lot of time, but any second matters, especially when you're being chased. And here's how it would look like normally if you use the W first and then use the E after. So you can see it's definitely a bit slower, but to better visualize how much slower it is, let's put them side by side. The left side is going to be the animation cancelling one where you use your E and then the W right after. And you can clearly see that I get within the area of my W and the bush much faster on the left side than I do on the right side. Every single even half a second that you save matters. So going back to the actual trick, what you want to do is again use your E and then the W right after on a location, but you have to time it so that as you use it on a jungle camp that you want to escape to, your E ability doesn't run out. This is a bit more difficult now than it was a patch ago because the W does not give vision until it actually begins flying over to the destination. So this probably is the most efficient way of doing it, but also very difficult. The timing is very precise, but if the opponents are somewhat far away from you and you're not too scared of them catching up, you can then of course do the easier way by just using the initial part of the E to roll through the wall. But this trick is to help you if the opponents are quite close to you and you have to make as much distance as possible from them, as soon as possible. Using the initial roll from the E to create more distance between you and your opponent that's chasing you, and using the second part of the E to go over the wall to make the juke. But those are the 3 tips I want to talk about in this video, guys. Some of them are again pretty complicated, but some of them not as difficult. If you guys did enjoy this, please do throw in a like in the video, share it with your friends, and if you would like me to, I can make more tips and videos for Ekko. But in the meantime, I thank you for watching. Please don't forget to check out my other videos as well. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace.